Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, if any of you of the younger ages. How are we all doing today? Welcome to SC2 Improved Team League Season 3. Once again here, I am Wardy, and I can see the viewer numbers rising extremely rapidly as we've just gone live, as we get ready to go into a best of 7 all kill between Startale and Mistral. Startale making their SC2ITL debut. That's going to be the talk of today. We do have 2 other best of 7s to watch as well, and depending on how fast this first best of 7 is, we'll be going into ESC Gaming versus Nuit Blanche afterwards, and at 9 PM Central European Summer Time, we'll be going into Carnage Esports versus Team Extreme Supremacy, no matter what. So even if ESC Nuit Blanche is still going on, we'll swap over to the Carnage match because we want to cast that full series no matter what. So that's the plan here today. We are currently having our vetoes come in between these two teams, between Mistral and Startale. I can tell you the first player out for Mistral will be STK, and the first player out for Startale will be Startale Legend. So we're going to be starting up here very soon. We've had a few vetoes in: Merry-Go-Round, Foxtrot, Nimbus, Deadwing, and Catalina. So it comes down to either Overgrowth or King Sejong Station to start us off, and I will host this map up as soon as we get our final veto in from Startale to begin here in this best of 7 all kill series. So guys, how are you all doing? King Sejong Station will be our first map. I'm Wardy. Do let us know who you supported in the chat here today. I get the feeling there's going to be an overwhelming number of people cheering on Startale, or people just here to see Startale playing. And we should be getting going here in a couple of moments' time, inviting our players in. And once we get in, we should be all set to go. So we are loaded up into the lobby, just waiting for some of the Mistral players to leave. So getting rid of a couple of these guys, and then we should be all good to go into this first map of this best of 7. One player leaves, and we are just getting one more player in from we're getting deciding. There we go. Okay, so we've got our obs in, we've got our players in, and we're all set to go here, guys, as we're going into Mistral versus Startale. Startale definitely going to be going into this as the favourites. They will be playing cross server, they will be playing on Europe, so they will experience lag. Oops, we have a DC. So maybe a couple more moments here, as Legend looks as though he's just gone offline for a moment. I cannot invite him now. Why can't I invite him? What's going on? There we go. Okay, so looks as though we are ready and set to go, as Legend is ready up, and STK, just waiting for STK to ready up, and we should be all set to go into this. Go is called, and we're going to go straight on into this. Alright guys, so Startale versus Mistral on the way right here. Welcome to the SC2 Improved Team League Season 3. Sorry about a little bit of a slow start here. Vetoes were just starting up when we went live and stuff, so it just took a little while. But we now are loading into game for TVT to begin things here. Startale Legend goes up against Mistral's STK in the first map of the day. And again, we've got a bunch of best of 7s to bring you tonight, so hopefully there's going to be a whole array of great games. And I mean, Mistral here to start things off. How could you ever complain? It's Mistral and Startale here to start things off. How could you ever complain? I mean, I've been excited to see Startale playing this for so long. Like, since they contacted me about playing, I was like, what? Like, is this real life? Or what? Like, I cannot explain how excited I've been. So let me just very quickly type this tweet out because I was distracted by sorting out the vetoes. And yeah, let's go into this game. So, swap the players around on the overlay and bring our overlay up. And we're going to actually be starting down in the lower right-hand corner with the blue Terran player, who is the, legendary observer and acting manager of Startale. It's Startale Legend. These teams are part of Group B of the SC2ITL. SC2ITL. I'll explain a little bit because I may have a bit of a slow start here. So if you guys are new, and I'm sure we've got a few new viewers here today, the SC2 Improved Team League is just a team league based in Europe, but teams from all over the world are welcome to come play. But all the matches are played on the European server. There's 2 groups in the first division which play for €500 of cash prizes and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. In fact, now it's €550 of cash prizes because we hit our first donation goal, which was to add a 3rd place match into the 3rd season. This is our 3rd season of competition, the first season which Startale have opted to play in. And you can see a few of the teams which Startale will be going up against in the first few weeks of the competition here. Today against Mistral, next week versus Gravity, Durava Capsa in week 3, Mason in Action week 4, APSC2E Star 5 and Cascade in week 6. Other teams in their group include AT Gaming, who are last season's champions. So that's going to be pretty intriguing to see them go up against them as well. If you want a full list of the matches, they are up on the Wikipedia, and you can get to that by typing in !bracket into the chat. How is everyone in the chat doing? Again, guys, do let us know who you're supporting here tonight. It's always nice to see. And we are looking as though we're going to get out of this pause right about now. So we should be back into this quite quickly here. So Startale, it's going to be interesting, mostly because of, they're definitely one of the favourites here, but how much is the cross-server lag going to affect them? What level of players are they willing to send out? Their lineup, their whole roster is, it's the full deal. They've submitted all their players to the roster. So Life, Curious, Hack, Panic, Pet, Legend, and one more who I'm forgetting. Someone's probably going to kick me because I've probably forgotten their favourite player, but I think it was Stun is their last player. That's the 7 players that submitted to the roster. They have to use 4 at least each week. So, I mean, if teams can take them to the 7th game or so, we could see some pretty sick players coming out of Startale. And again, just Legend here to start off today, and he has opened with a gas first into just the standard factory immediately after this barracks. On the other side of the map, however, we do have Team Mistral. SDK coming out first for Team Mistral, and we'll see what these guys are going to get up to, as SDK is going for a Reaper expand. So already here differences in these build orders. A much more aggressive opening from Legend, although it will be SDK who kind of makes the first little bit of aggression, but it depends how much you counter Reaper as being aggressive. With this very fast factory and now a second gas on the way, Legend will be looking to head across the map with probably some Cloak Banshees, maybe some early tanks, stuff like that. He'll be looking to head across the map fairly early on and trying to get across there to do some damage, do whatever he can. SDK will get turned around with this first Reaper, as 2 Marines are well positioned here on the ramp. Legend turning this away pretty easily with them first 2 Marines. His Starport now on the way, a Tech Lab on the way in that factory, so it's looking like it will be a Cloak Banshee opening, as this Reaper going to try and come in the other side, but it's going to get hit by 3 Marines, and that's going to be 1 dead Reaper here. Legend with a nice little bit of control at the start, getting his Marines in the perfect position to pick off this initial Reaper. Excuse me, so having that overlay still up there, guys. Again, I've just introduced using that the introduction team card thing 2 days ago, so this is my 2nd evening of casting with it, and I am a little bit forgetful with it right now still, so with time it shall be perfected, but for now, excuse my mistakes. Alright, so Cloak Banshee on the way here for Legend. Back at home for Mistral's player, SDK. He is getting he's got a reactor on this barracks, so he's getting double Marines out, and he's dropping a starport of his own, as well as a Tech Lab on his factory, so a couple of different opportunities for him here himself. He's on double gas, so he could go into a Cloak Banshee follow-up himself, or he could also just go into Siege Tanks and Viking, or Siege Tank or Raven Viking, and just generally go for a very safe opening, an opening which generally will have, will cover every kind of aggression which can come towards him. So as this factory moves away again, it opens up the 2 opportunities, either Cloak Banshee or that early Raven and Viking combo to come out of SDK. So let's see who they're going to drop first here. There's the starport. What he's going to get out first? He has the starport lifts and lands on this tech lab, and see if it will be this cloak banshee or this raven plate. The first cloak banshee from Legend is on the way across the map. Cloak not quite finished up just yet. It's about 20-30 seconds away. We'll just be the raven for now. We actually have a mine coming in as well from SDK to help out with his defense here early on. Marine's position in the mineral line should be able to turn this banshee away without too much of an issue. So there's Banshee coming forward, and going to start trading here, and we'll just pick off 1-2 Marines, and doing whatever damage you can. Now, what is the follow-up here for Legend? That's one of the more important things to be asking right now, because he is quite happy just to be picking off Marines here, it would seem, and now he cloaks as well. And actually, there isn't a scan available, and the Raven's not out just yet. So SDK, the opportunity to do some free damage here, and he's already making a lot of this. These mules miss a lot of their mining time. Now he has to be very careful because this Widow mine has just burrowed here. Raven's about to pop out, and Legend going to come across. The Raven not quite in range just yet, so this Banshee able to do a little bit more still, as we see SCVs falling here. And it looks as though this Banshee will go down. Legend a little bit slow to pull that one back, as Tech Lab is on his factory back at home. A third command center, a natural command center on the way up here for Legend. That's about to finish up. A third command center for STK is already on the way up here in the main base. So STK is just going to say, right, you opened with an aggressive build. I'm just going to whiff what again is going to be a fairly safe opening from him altogether, because he's now going to go into tanks as well. He's going to have Raven Viking out, so he's going to be pretty safe overall. He's just going to try and head into a scenario where he's going to be able to just even lands the daughter turret there, where he could just take a very big economy lead in terms of economy by dropping his third command center nice and early on. Engineering bay on the way down, and that'll help him, of course. Turrets just in case these Banshees come in different locations. I mean, the Raven can't be everywhere. Has to be very careful of this mine still. And he will be very careful of it actually just looping around, but decided not to commit too far further forward. So Legend just going to back off for now. Starting to move across the map with a couple of tanks and a fair few Marines. So looking as though he will get aggressive here. He's starting up a medevac as well, and more tanks on the way out. And no real transition to come behind this. So Legend really looking to try and do some damage here. Now the first tank will be out here for STK. He does have a Raven as well, which will definitely help him out. And he's got this Viking, so he can definitely control the air. He can get the kind of extra vision on the siege tanks. I'm not sure what exactly just went down there. I think it was just an SCV trying to cross the map. Legend grouping together with his whole army right now. Back at home, he is beginning to add on a single barracks, and there's a couple barracks. So he will transition into bio behind this, depending on how much, to see how much damage this attack will do first of all, however. As the first tank is out here for SDK, and it's going to siege up. It's very far forward. He's maybe even a little bit too far forward, and Legend's just going to kind of split and come forward here and try and fight into this. The SCV is repairing this bunker. I think he should have enough to hold on, and in fact Legend loses absolutely everything apart from his two tanks, and I guess the two tanks are the more important things, but he's being chased out here. 3 tanks now. SCV is still chasing. Viking goes down. Marines are very eager to take this down, and SDK is just continuing to chase us right now. He's actually 13 SCVs behind, but he kills off a lot of this army, which I'd say potentially opens up a counterattack, but SDK lost a fair amount himself here. Legend finishes up about 10 supply ahead. He's still got SCVs, which just aren't really mining. Legend doesn't really have anything back at home right now, but he does have a nice amount of workers, 42 to 27, so 15 worker lead after this early game, adding on a few more barracks, continuing to produce tanks, so he should be safe from any kind of counterattack, as oh my god, this Banshee's just been clearing out the main base, and Legend could drop the cloak here if he's paying attention. Doesn't look as though he is paying too much attention here. Banshee goes down, and well, 14 kills on that Banshee makes this a much different deal. 23 workers killed overall, and Legend, well, I mean, SDK is starting to catch up. He does have this third orbital command, which will make a difference in this in the long term. He does have +1 as well, so he's been using his engineering bay a little bit earlier on. He doesn't quite have the same amount of, well, he's nowhere near the same amount of production as his opponent, but he does have stim as well, so he's slightly ahead in terms of his upgrades. He needs to just kind of stabilize a little bit with his economy, which he can with this third command center, and just out on his barracks, and he should be okay, because Legend shouldn't be able to break him, because there's going to be at least 2 tanks sieged up. I'm going to see a drop head across the map. This is going to be very close. Is it going to be intercepted by this army? Yes, it's going to go right over it, and this is just not how it's meant to be. SDK flies it right over the army there. Wasn't expecting Legend to be moving out again, and it's a bit of a, if you can call a drop path greedy, it's a greedy drop path. He's just trying to get across the map as quick as he can instead of being a little bit safe, and he just wasn't paying enough attention to it there. Now 3 Vikings again, it will give him the vision range, as Legend looking to try and come up here again. He scans, but with 2 tanks is just too much for STK, who's now only 4 workers behind, so he's slowly catching up from this. And you gotta remember, +1 armor's on the way for SCT as well. He's now adding on his extra barracks, so he will start to get his marine count up and rolling here very soon. He's not in any real rush to take the 3rd orbital command and land it in position, because Legend is yet to really build his yet. I feel as though it's a little bit overeager to actually put it down now. When he sees this army in the middle of the map, you're kind of just asking to maybe, you know, just have that picked off here. Vikings are going to come forward, and you know, Legend very good in just boosting their medevacs back. A couple of Marines come forward to cut off that single Marine there. Legend still reinforcing, doesn't have combat shields just yet, but neither does SDK for about another 30-40 seconds or so. Legend, is he going to check this 3rd base? I think he might, because it looks as though he's going in that direction. I mean, this is why there was just no need to land this at all. I mean, he's going to come in here, he's going to start stimming up his tanks. There's so many Marines, though. Is it going to be enough? I'm not too sure. Yeah, I mean, Legend's just going to absolutely steamroll through. STK just getting way, just a little bit too overeager here. He comes out and takes the 3rd when he didn't need to. He could have just sat back for a while. He caught up on SCVs. You know, he was in no rush to get his 3rd up and running. He's going to try and hold this bunker here once again, but I mean, as time goes on, this time, I mean, it's hard to come back. Now he's about 30-40 army supply down. This time, Legend will have his 3rd command center up. And he kept his 3rd command center alive. He's going to be able to flow that into his main base. But these tanks move forward here, and I believe the Viking advantage, okay, is pretty even. So it's going to be pretty close as these tanks try to break on through, along with these few Marines which are coming through, and then SCVs come off the line, off the bunker. And that should be it. It looks as though Legend going to take the game number 1 here in this best of 7 all kill. SDK putting up a pretty good fight. But yeah, I mean, just a couple of missed decisions. I think you know, play this out ever so slightly differently, it would have been okay. The game goes on, but in this scenario, it is GG, and Startale take their first map here in the SC2 Improved Team League Season 3. Again, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys were expecting it. I saw a few guys in the chat saying, why send out Legend first? And I think the Wood actually gave us a pretty good answer to that. Just maybe they're just testing the waters, and I do believe that is the, I think that's the best way to look at it. I think they're just trying to test here to see who is, you know, see how good this team are, see what's up. So I'm just going to very quickly relog, guys. We're going to go into a quick commercial break while we get our 2nd player pick and our 2nd map pick out of Mistral, and we'll see if they can come back in this series and take a game off of Startale, as Legend will be here once again. It is an all kill, so winner stays on. Legend coming up in game 2, so it'll be a TV something, and we'll find out what that is very soon, guys. We'll be right back. Don't go too far. This is SC2ITL Season 3 Startale versus Mistral. Welcome back to SC2 Improved Team League Season 3. Oh, that little strand of hair up there. I don't know what it's getting up to. Guys, we're going into game number 2 right now between Startale and Team Mistral in week 1 of the SC2ITL Season 3. I'm Wardy, and I hope you're enjoying the action so far. We're going into this next game right now. So we're actually starting up once again with the Team Startale player in the upper right hand corner in the red. It's Legend, looking as though he's just going to be opening with a Reaper Expand here in this TVP. Wrong hotkey there. Didn't want to skip over to the other side of the map just yet. Was meant to just spin the other way. Meant to do this, not that. So, this barracks is about to finish up. The Reaper's going to be on the way here very soon. It's going to be a pretty simple, plain and simple Reaper Expand. Now, Legend taking out his opponent in the first game. Let's see how he does in a different matchup. This is going to be a TVP now, as he goes up against Ares, or Ares. Oh, it's one of these names, like, is it Ares, is it Ares, which way is it going to be? If someone knows exactly, that would be great. But yeah, anyway, he's up against this Protoss player from Mistral, the next player out, player number 2. And we'll see how he fares here, as we do see this probe beginning to come across, remembering to take the overlay off. Good stuff, getting better at this already. We actually can have an engineering bay block coming down on the low ground here. This is going to really hurt Ares because he didn't start up a Zealot, and so it's going to be a little while before he really shuts this down. The probe is here to, you know, harass this SCV, Starts with a Zealot Mothership Core now instead. Probably wants to take a second gas because he's got nothing else to spend his minerals on just yet. SCV comes back and we'll try and get a little bit more on this. The Reaper's coming in as well though, so he kind of had to get the pull the probe away. Mothership Core's trying to go on this Reaper right now. So this Reaper moving around as this engineering bay is actually going to get all the way up, and this is really a little bit troublesome now. Trying to trap this Reaper in, and it looks as though he's just going to miss it. Reaper just surviving here. Engineering bay actually finishes, and Legend going to be laughing a little bit right now. Ares going to be really struggling here as the Reaper. The probe, if it actually stuck on that, maybe would have got it. Legend gets away with his Reaper though. I don't think the probe actually would have got it. So Zell going to work away on this engineering bay. I believe we've seen a I thought we'd seen another Zealot on the way out, but no, I'm completely mistaken. So, yeah. Engineering bay about halfway down. We're going to see Twilight Council started, and maybe Ares just going into some kind of blink all in at this point. Give me a second here, guys, to turn the sound, the vibrate off on my phone because it's kind of annoying, I know, but the emails are coming through from followers and stuff. So yeah, Legend is coming into in the main base, and he will see the Twilight Council at the top. He's seen the two gateways as well, so he knows what opening this is, and this is a great start for him to this game. I mean, the engineering bay block is kind of just a bit of an insult, you know, not the best way for Ares to really start here. I'm pretty sure he would have liked to get his engineering bay, his Nexus down when he actually had the 400 minerals for it, as Reaper is going to get turned away. There's plenty of Marines at home, so he's not worried about any kind of attack. The scout for him, seeing that in Twilight Council, means he doesn't have to prepare for any kind of Stargate play. He doesn't have to keep Marines in the main base or anything. He's not going to rush out an engineering bay. Just Stim Pack on the way, making just pure Marine right now. Maybe adds in a Marauder at some point soon, but that's about it. Reaper looking to get a little bit more information here. Comes in, sees the expansion. And we'll see if he can get into the main base. I guess the real thing he wants to confirm now is it Blink or is it Dark Shrine coming from that Twilight Council? And that's exactly where he's going up to see. And he sees the Twilight Council chrono boosting, so he's going to confirm that it's going to be a Blink opening out of his opponent off of two bases. So how aggressive it will be, we're still yet to find out. This Reaper will now die. It's done its job. It's got the scout information. It's been a great asset to him early in this game. So, yeah, Ares coming across the map with a few of these Stalkers here initially. There's some Marines just hiding on this watchtower. They're going to leap out, and that's going to be one Stalker dying here immediately. Another Stalker too, and just not enough Stalkers here to take this on, really. Legend with the advantage there of having the units hidden in the bush and watching from the watchtower. So that was a nice little start for Legend, picking off a couple of Stalkers. Only no third and fourth gas taken, so it looks as though, well, we see a robo facility on the way down. I was about to say it looks as though it could be a commitment towards just, two-base Blink. But the robo facility makes you question a little bit, because he's not adding on any more gateways, so it's not as though he's really powering up into the later parts of the game. He looks as though he wants to transition out of this and tech in some way. As we're going to see a little bit of micro here as these few Stalkers should be able to turn this around. The Marauder is the real issue right now. Stim's about to finish, so maybe with Stim he's with Stim he'll definitely be able to get away, or maybe turn around and fight these. I don't think you can really fight them. I think 6 Stalkers is maybe just a few too many. As I've got Marines just heading around, checking for proxy pylons. I mean, I think he must know some kind of aggression is coming, or he must think some kind of aggression is coming. I mean, Blink openings aren't the most common of openings to go into macro games with anymore. And, we're still seeing a fair amount of Stalkers coming in here. We do see this Stim forward, and Blink will begin to come down, and nice control so far. Targeting down, though, now the lower health Stalkers. He gets 2. And loses the rest of the army. I think Legend just staying around in that, around out on the map for a little too long there. As we're now going to see the extra gases taken at the natural for our Protoss player. He's still warping in, he's still looking as though he wants to be aggressive, but again, he hasn't committed to that many gateways, so he's got his robo facility up, he's looking as though he could drop his robo bay very soon. He's going to drop a third Nexus already, so he's just, using this as a little bit of pressure, trying to put his opponent off for a little while. Legend has combat shields and Stim both now finished as a single Marine. Will it get picked off? It looks as though it will escape, at least for now. And, okay, poor Marine does end up dying here. So, Marine goes down. Legend not yet quite able to secure a third base just yet. He adds on a couple of extra barracks. So, adding on a couple of barracks, looking as though he's going to come in towards this, come into this mid-game in a very strong position in terms of how much army he's going to have. Coming forward here with these Stalkers, tries to pick off something, but not quite able to. And now being chased down, Legend will just look to pick off these pylons and you know, pretty much just shut down this aggression or pressure from Evs. I mean, again, it's not that much of a, you know, it's not that aggressive. He hasn't added on a bunch of gateways to do this or anything like that. He's got his Robobay now on the way down. My only question is it going to be enough? These Stalkers now coming in, trying to pick off anything they can. We're getting turned away, losing one Stalker as well. Warp Prism on the way across to try and buy him some time. Because again, right now, I don't really think he's got what he needs to be able to hold on to a third base. These Blink Stalkers on their own just aren't going to be enough. Legend with a pretty decent army advantage, 50 to 30. And he's got +1 finishing as well. So I think this is going to be a goodbye third base for Ares. Maybe getting a little bit too ahead of himself by trying to start this up here. Comes forward with these Stalkers. Blinks away pretty quickly. Warps in a few Zealots here and gets ready to go in towards the main base, which could disrupt Legend a little bit because he has just picked up the rest of his units and is beginning to head towards the main base with those. First Colossus is about to pop out, so finally here Ares getting set up a little bit better into this mid-game, getting into a bit more of a position which he was you know, expecting to be in. Here comes these first Zealots into the main base. So Legend, how can he deal with this harassment? Immediately two Marauders stimming over here to try and help out. A fair few CVs already going down. Legend not wanting to come into this main natural just yet with this Colossus here, but he does have 2 medevacs straight into the main. And now it's going to be interesting. How does Ares decide to try and, you know, split up his army to deal with this? He's sending everything into his main base right now. These Zealots have been cleaned up. A few workers were killed off. At the same time, he has the stim into the natural, and this is the multi-pronged aggression which Terran players are so well known for, of course. And I mean, this is the danger early on in this, as Ares is still chasing around in the main base, and his natural's just going to fall. Thrown Overcharge just comes down way too late, and Legend just gets out of there. Natural is dead. He's killed the third base minutes ago as well. Our Pros player now sits on one base and wonders, what do I do now? Third base being established for Legend. He's got a lot more units continuing to come out here. This Warp Prism's still on the map. It's still alive. He's killed Legend killed 9 workers in total. Ares with 5. I mean, the Warp Prism's not, in the end, going to actually be game-changing. Some Stalkers and these Colossi going to greet this army, which is moving across the map, and Legend takes the fight for a couple of moments there. Will turn around. He needs to just go in with everything. If he comes in with everything, I do believe he should be able to probably take a pretty good fight. Mine's actually going to do a lot of damage here. The splash damage really hurting his opponent. Warp Prism coming forward to help warp in, and I mean, it's kind of now or never for Ares. Can he come up this ramp and break through? He's an upgrade down. He's down a little bit in army supply. There's not Vikings out for Legend. There's 1 Viking, 2 and 3 on the way. I just don't think there's enough. There's Blink, but no, you know, no charge or anything. He blinks back to let the Zealots in front. The Terran army is going to come in from all the different angles, and the splash damage of the Colossi is not going to be enough here. And Legend stims forward to a victory in game number 2. And well, Startale showing their dominance here as Legend, their first player out, a player who I think many of you guys in the chat thought, why are they sending a Legend out? You know, it was kind of like that at the start, but he's proven himself right now. And we're going to be getting into game number 3 in a few moments' time, guys. Once again, we're going into a quick commercial break here before we head into this third game. Don't go too far. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to hit the follow button, as a few of you guys, I believe, have been doing so far already. Thank you to I Hate That Game and Bogda Pirate, who have hit the follow button already here tonight. So thank you for your support, and we'll get into and ML Proxy as well. Guys, we'll be back here in a couple of moments' time with game 3 of Mistral versus Startale from SC2ITL Season 3. Don't go too far, because things are going to get, you know, start heating up as Mistral send out their better and better players here. Don't go far, guys. We'll be back here in a few moments with game number Season 3. How are you all doing? I'm Wardy, bringing you all the action here tonight. Of course, we are here live right now with Startale versus Team Mistral in about an hour's time, depending if this series is over. We'll be heading into ESC Gaming versus Nuit Blanche. So that'll be in about 50 minutes. That's when it officially starts. We'll jump into that whenever that's over. But at 9 PM Central European Summer Time, we'll be heading straight into Carnage Esports versus Team Extreme Supremacy at 9 PM CEST. So that's our plan for tonight, guys. A whole bunch of SC2ITL Season 3 matches coming your way. Let's go into the game for Game 3 of Mistral versus Startale, currently trailing by 2 games. Gonna have to make something happen here, at least I feel. In the lower right hand corner from Mistral, it's Armax. Mistral, last season they were in the 2nd division. They finished 1st in their group, and that qualified them to the 1st division for this 3rd season of the league. As the gas comes down here for Armax very early in this game, he's going to be looking for some kind of aggressive opening. I mean, pooling gas very early on, very quick speed, and the hatchery ever so slightly delayed. So maybe trying to take advantage of, you know, the size of this map maybe, and maybe just Legend maybe trying to play a little bit greedy here. Legend is our player from Startale in the upper left-hand corner. The red Terran player seeded into the first division. Because, I mean, when Startale sign up to your tournament, you don't just say to them, hey, I tell you what, you can play in the qualifiers. We actually had an extra spot opened, which we couldn't have. It wasn't enough time to play enough qualifiers, so we out of all the teams which were going to play, we just invited Startale. So it saved us running like another 2 rounds of qualifier, which there just wasn't time to do. So 4-0 easy, says AC in the chat. What are everyone else's predictions right now? Crowtail reckon 4-0 as well. Migdelta think it's going to be 4-1. Legend coming in here and starting to take down one of these drones. Extractor going to come down. I have to say, I think out of all the matchups, I think the latency will affect TVZ the worst. Or the most, I should say. I think, yeah, having to split and stuff like that, I think this may be the matchup where Legend will struggle the most. Especially with the latency issues in this game. So, yeah. Neutron XLOL saying Armax is the strongest player in Belgium, which is a nice little bit of fact. As this Reaper comes around, going to come jump into the main base. Lucifero saying he's going to imagine Startale is going to take this as well. Reaper comes in here. We'll see that 100 gas is mine now. I don't believe he really knows how, quite how fast this gas was. So I don't think he isn't prepared at all for these links coming across the map. And 2 Hellions on the way, but with a good little spread on the low ground. This should be these lings forcing the lift off here. And yeah, this is exactly what's going to happen. 1 Hellion's actually left below here, and he gets caught immediately. So these lings going to start doing some damage, going to wrap around on this command center, and again that will force a lift off as single ling runs up, and Legend may not get his depot up in time. Oh no! This is just game! There's no way you can come back from this many lings in your base when you've already lost one of your Hellions. I mean, he's going to try and surround with the SCVs and just fight with everything, but this is going to be a lot of damage done here. 2 more Hellions on the way out, so maybe he's still got an opportunity. No! Okay, there is 2. There is definitely 2, but still a lot of damage going to go down. Maybe I was a bit preemptive and call it good game. I mean, this is more damage than you really ever want to be taking. You should never be taking this damage, and wow, just a slip of a depot. And it looks like this, it looks as though Legend is in a little bit of trouble here, as we still have someplace, we have some ling in there, but it looks as though he got killed off. Legend lands his natural now. He did have to cancel the orbital to lift that up, so he still doesn't have a second orbital. He's actually about 20-ish workers behind, and Armax going into a double evolution chamber, got a 3rd base on the way, transitioning out of this, and his little risk at the start of this game to open up with a very fast speed is going to pay off for him here. He's done the damage needed. 9 workers. I was kind of expecting a few more. I guess he kills off the first 2 Hellions as well, which is also very nice. I still think it's probably worthwhile. I mean, how can you deny 24 worker advantage has not been worthwhile? He delayed the orbital command, that's pretty important as well. So, is my mic crackling really badly? I'm going to have to check that out, guys. I'll check it out after this game. I'll see what I can do. It shouldn't be that bad. Hopefully it's easily fixable. If you guys usually watch the stream and it's worse than usual, will you let me know? Because that's something I really need to sort out. Startale's Legend here, poking up the ramp with 4 Hellions, but not quite able to do anything just yet. And these lings sitting on the natural. 1-1 now starting up for our Zergplane. I mean, his advantages right now are undeniable as Legend just going to take a bit of map control with these Hellions. Going to hold this left-hand side watchtower. There's Overlord's on the way up here for Armax. He's already got 1 in the natural. That's going to get killed off in just a moment here. So, a little bit sloppy. I guess he was maybe going to try and scout, but at the same time, does he need to scout? Because he's already seen the 3rd command center. There's not much else he can really be expecting to see apart from maybe confirming its mech, and even then, it's this Overlord you'd want in there. And with the way that this game has gone, by the time this Overlord gets, here, that'd be the time you wanted to scout for mech or bio anyway. You'll have plenty of time to transition. I don't think that Overlord was meant to go in there. I think that was a little bit of a mistake by him. Marine's on an Overlord hunt, and this is another Overlord which may just very well get picked off here. Startale Legend going to find this, and 2 Marines going to stop to try and start taking this down. Armax has got another Overlord already on the way, so he's not going to hit a supply block here. But still annoying. This is now the 2nd Overlord he is going to end up losing. This Overlord is stopped to the left-hand side. And it looks as though Legend just going to come back home now. And he's got a bunker on the way up. He's got his wall finishing up in the natural. Still 20 workers down. And still struggling to see how he's going to continue in this game. 4th base already on the way for Armax. So he's basically saying, I've got my advantage. I know you can't really push with anything too scary, so I'm going to be greedy, take my 4th before you land your 3rd. just say I'm going to make sure I'm in a very strong economy so that as long as I trade evenly and fairly, I'm going to be at an advantage here in this game. Submarine's falling back now, as this Overseer does come in and does spot that it's bio, and again, that must be all he's looking for now, to see if it's bio or mech. He confirms it's bio, he'll be able to start up his +2 melee in a moment or so, and combat shield's on the way for our Legend. He's already got Stim finished up, centrifugal hook's on the way as well, so that lair has finished, and we're not actually yet seen any Mutalisks come down, or a Spire come down, which I find a little bit interesting. I don't know if it's just because he wants to get these Banelings in first, and centrifugal hooks and +2, etc. I feel it's maybe if he plays without Mutas for the whole game, I don't really agree with it. There's the Spire now, so he's just delaying a little while, making sure he got everything else started up first. Still doesn't have his +2 melee started, he actually starts that now. And Pneumatized Carapace, giving his overlords a little bit of extra speed on the map. Legend slightly supply blocked for a moment or two. There's still 30 workers down in this game, but with a larger army supply, he doesn't have 1-1 though, and the lack of upgrades is definitely a little bit scary. As his third base has landed, he lifts up and he's going to start elevating onto the high ground here. And of course this is always a kind of annoying position for a Zerg player to deal with, but he comes in here, he's going to clean up everything on the low ground, only these medevacs left on the high ground, and I mean, this is going to get dealt with fairly quickly. Just use a handful of Zerglings over here to be able to pick off these Marines, and Armax does hold this initial push here. This medevac is starting to get a little bit low on hit points. That Queen doing some serious work on that, but not quite able to do it. No, to finish it off here in the end. So Armax is moving across the map. Once again with a lot of lings and looking for a counter-attack. I mean, he killed off a little bit of the Terran player here. He's maybe thinking of committing forward. I think he'd be better off just waiting. Of course, he doesn't know that 2-2 hasn't, or 1-1 hasn't even started yet for his opponent. But at the same time, what's the point in fighting when you're 2-2 or at least +2 Carapace is so close to finishing? So he's going to fight with 1-2 here, it seems. It looks as though he's just going to try and run into this and try and just win the game. It looks as though he's going to go in here right now, and the mines aren't yet burrowed. Legend needs to get these burrowed ASAP, in all honesty, because, I mean, this is scary. There's a few of these units streaming forward, and the mines, oh, they unburrow, and a couple of them go off, but that's it. Armax splitting up and going to come up this ramp right now. He's just going to go in towards this. Another mine going off, but not getting the best of detonations. Baneling's coming forward as well here. Can Armax clean up Legend and push on through? He cleans up and has broken the third base. He's going to be able to get some Banelings in here, and they're chasing the SCVs. Actually goes off on the mules, which isn't too successful. Another mine falls as well here. Armax doing some pretty significant damage, but Legend not out of it just yet. He sits just below 100 supply, now creeping back over that 100 supply mark. But still no upgrades, and I mean 2-2 against 0-0. I mean, Armax is just going to keep on attacking into this here. Mutas are now heading towards the main base as well, and Legend, because he's playing the catch-up game, has not really had an opportunity to make turrets or anything, so now he's got to suddenly deal with Mutalisks in his main, and attacks coming up his third base ramp, and wow, that mine hit's just not what he wanted at all here, and now it looks as though Armax is going to come up. The Mutas turned away from the main, but in towards the third base we go. And there's not actually any unity. I don't know whether units are they all in the main. That's how little Legend has right now. He doesn't even have units to commit to his third base, not even a couple. Third base cleaned out, and I mean Armax doing a very smart thing and just backing off, going into swarm hosts just in case it's needed right now. I don't really think it is, but nonetheless, a couple of medevacs coming in for a drop here, but they're going to get cleaned up pretty quickly, I would have to imagine, and I mean, they're going to go straight towards the main. The Mutas are on the way back to help clean them up. Already Lings peeling into this main base as well. And Spellcaller are going to start taking doing a lot of damage to one of these medevacs, and it doesn't even get the majority of the units out. And Legend will GG out of this game right now. And that lets us see Mistral take their first map here of the first division of the SC2ITL. Again, they played in the second season of SC2ITL in the second division. They qualified through to the first division by finishing first in their group. And now they've taken a map off of Startale. We're going to go into a quick break because I really need to go to the toilet, and I need to come back in time to tell you who the next player will be from Startale, guys. So be right back. 2 to 3 minutes time. Game 4 of Startale versus Mistral will be on the way. All you guys who were feeling it was going to be a 4-0 have been proven wrong. But a lot of you guys were still supporting Startale nonetheless here. So next player on the way in a few moments, guys. We'll be back very soon. TL Season 3, we were in game, but we had a drop, so we've remade, and as you can hear right now, countdown is going on. So we're about to get into this game number 4 now on the way. Mistral have taken a map, so they're going to at least force Startale into 5 maps. Stun, Protoss players, the next out here for Startale. And I believe Stun was on Love Your Girlfriend for a while. Let me actually open up Wikipedia, because I'm actually quite interested in this. Because I know he was on Wikipedia. I'm 99% certain of it. I know he was on Love Your Girlfriend. I'm pretty sure about that. Yes, he was. He was on Wikipedia. He was on Deimos as well. And yeah, now he's part of Startale. So yeah, very exciting stuff. We're gonna get into this game right now, guys. Let me just very quickly get my windows open in the correct locations and set up the scoreboard and stuff like that. So yeah, without any further ado, let's go into this game. So the winner of our last game was our Pink Zerg, who's spawning now in the right hand corner of Catalina, our 3-player map here in the map pool alongside Merry-Go-Round. From Team Mistral, it's Armax. The opportunity here to even up this series. Let's see how he does against his new opponent. He got himself a very early lead with an aggressive opening against Legend, and was able to turn that victory advantage into victory in a pretty convincing game. In the left-hand position from Startale, we have the Blue Protoss player again, formerly of Love Your Girlfriend and Deimos Esports, now part of Startale. It's Stun. Alright, so let's see how these guys are going to open, how this ZVP is going to shape on up, and what is in store for us over the next 10 to 20 minutes or however long this game may be. The beautiful thing about StarCraft, you don't even know how long this game will be. You don't know when there's going to be a sudden twist of luck, and you know, someone loses all their workers to a mine or something like that. I don't know. StarCraft is beautiful though. So this gateway is going to finish up here, single gas right now. Looks like there's going to be a fairly quick nexus out of stone. We had a pool first into a Hachi for Armax, just playing a pretty safe opening here. He's going to come in with his first Overlord. He's going to get the scout off. Oh, he turns around. He's not too interested. Okay, he's going to go a little bit further forward here to try and see what it is, what kind of opening it is, and he will see the gateway then. Seeing the gateway is pretty much all he needs to see. Now he can confirm with a single gas as well. He sees everything. He's got all the information he could need at the early stage of this game. So this Overlord is going to turn around and head over here and wait for a later stage in this game where he's going to be more useful coming into this base to scout again. And again, just waiting for this probe to come down to the natural and start up a nexus here for Stunner. Zealot is actually allowed to complete here, so Stun's actually just going to attack these rocks here. He's not actually scouted yet, has he? No. He's going to scout with this first probe. So not moving out with his first Zealot, not looking to put on any kind of early aggression or anything like that. He did see where this Overlord came from, so he knows where his opponent is. Just choosing to scout now so you can see, are there 3 hatcheries up? Is there an early gas up? What kind of information can I get? So yeah, this probe coming across here and will come southwards, towards the Zerg base. We should get shut down by this queen, but we'll wait and see. This queen not quite with enough energy to inject just yet. Third base is checked here by Stun. And again, that's the real information he wants. He wants to know, is there a third base coming up or is there not? Because with that sort of information, he can pretty much make an assumption about what else is going on. Mainly, has this gas been taken or not? And we do see 100 gas mines here, and slightly over 100 gas, 108. So circling speed will start up, and look at this. Stun's actually just going to hide his probe over here. Again, not interested in actually going into the natural or the main. He knows it's probably a suicide mission for that probe. More interested in just making sure there's no third base and then coming down. Now there is a third base going to start coming down here from Armax, so he will drop this right now. So he will have speed. We see 3 extra gateways being added on here for Stun, so the potential to come across the map and be aggressive. And yeah, I mean, he's got this probe over here with this pylon, and Armax doesn't quite go close enough to spot this coming. So this is a little bit of a shame. And again, the second Zergling just not quite going to the far corner. Now he does. Now he's going to see the pylon, and immediately here he's going to know, right, I need to make more Zerglings to hold on to this. He's a little bit supplied up, but he's got 3 Overlords on the way, and he's pulling all of his Zerglings back to try and get that pylon killed off here. Mothership Core and Zealot coming in to try and protect it. Zergling speed about halfway done, so that's going to be a good start as well. I mean, this probe's being caught as well, and oh, the probe's one hit from death. Is it going to get away, or is the Zealot? The Zealot's going to save it for now, so probe's going to get another pylon up. Warping and Zealots are going to save that first pylon anyways, actually. A lot of Zerglings on the way right now. That speed is going to be absolutely crucial in this. It allows you to get a surround on them Zealots, and it makes such a huge difference in terms of the long run. Still only 1 gas for Stun, so behind this he's going to struggle a lot to really get any kind of, transition going. These lings are thinking about going right now. 12 more lings about to pop out. The injects are continuing to come out here. Armax with his queen at the front as well, looking to try and start picking off that mothership core. 9 zealots in total, and they're going to get ready to come up this ramp in just a few moments' time. These two queens coming forward here at first, moving maybe a little bit too far forward. This ramp is a really kind of great choke point for Stun to try and abuse here, as the lings are just going to come in. So, wow, the time warp comes down as well, though. Is there going to be enough? I mean, he hasn't really over-droned at all. He's only on 29 drones, so theoretically he should be kind of okay. But again, is there just going to be too much here for Stun? Because right now he's just killing off all of these Zerglings without any issue at all. And well, there's a few zealots left. More zealots coming in as reinforcements. G is called, and wow, I mean, Stun just takes that game in, what, like 7 minutes and 50 seconds. And just like that, Startale go to a 3-1 advantage in this best of 7 onto match point. And, well, just as things were starting to look a little bit upwards for Mistral, they come back down pretty quickly. So another player going to have to come out for them here. A shout out to a few guys hitting follow. Penguin. Hit and follow, Raglitz, Tanish Fun Patterson, Chicken Nugget, nice name, Ferran JWBS, Dark Templar B, Talk MC and Silver Ghost. Thank you guys for hitting the follow button and supporting the SC2ITL. And we are going to go once again into a commercial break here, as we do every time we go between games, because it does take a little while for our next player and map to be picked. The remaining maps are Foxtrot Labs, Merry-Go-Round, and Nimbus. So intrigued to see what our next map will be. I do believe it will be Clyde who will be playing, because he's the final... well, there's a lot of other players still in here for Mistral, but he is a Grandmaster player, so I'm assuming he's their ace. But we'll have confirmation of that very soon. So we'll go into Game 5 here in a few moments' time. Can Startale close it out, or will Mistral be able to take another map here and make this a little bit closer? We'll find out very soon, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is the SC2ITL Season 3. I'm Wardy, and we'll be back in 3 minutes' time with this 5th game. Let's do Startale versus Mistral. Clyde is our next player out from Team Mistral, a GM Terran player making this a TVP. And we've seen one TVP today, went quite quickly in favour of the Terran player. Legend just seemed to have the answer to everything. Who was it? Was it Ares, I believe, the Belgian player? He was the Protoss player. So let's see if our Terran, if another Terran can take a victory here against the Protoss and make a bit more of a series out of this, or whether Stun is going to be able to close things out from Team Startale. Everyone chatting, like, so great to actually see so many people chatting in the chat. So welcome, guys. If you are new to the stream, again, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. This is the SC2 Improved Team League, a €500 in hardware competition. Startale, yes, they have decided to sign up for whatever reason. Trust me, I was as surprised as you when they contacted me about playing. So yeah, do check it out. If you want to know more information, there's a Liquipedia, or there's Team Liquid Fed. If you want the Liquipedia, ! Bracket in the chat is your best is your best way to go. So we're going into our next game here, which is on Nimbus for this TVP. In the upper left hand corner is the blue Terran player Clyde from Team Mistral. And his opponent right now is the teal Protoss player in the upper right from Startale. It's Stun. So it looks though we might have a bit of a slow start to this. A Reaper expand against a just a gateway expand. We'll see if a second gas gets taken. I don't think it will here. I think he's just going to get his first Nexus down nice and quickly. Yeah, I mean, a few more Twitch shoutouts, I guess, to fill some time here. A few more guys hitting the follow button. Sport Bachilla, Sibs, and Chebaishev. Oh, that was good. That was a whole one. Chebaishev, something like that. Thank you guys for hitting the follow button and supporting the stream. If you guys are supporting or enjoying the show and you want to support us, the best thing you can do is follow. It's completely free to do so, and it means you're more likely to see when we go live again in the future. Stuff you can see on the stream, I'm actually casting DreamHack Moscow tomorrow, so that's going to be live tomorrow. We'll be having more SC2ITL matches at the start of next week. I'm actually away from Thursday to Sunday next week, so only streaming for half the week, but then we'll be back with a vengeance. So yeah, that's what you can see. We've also got SC2 Improved Summer League coming up in the next couple of weeks. That'll round of 16, the main event of that will be starting. So a lot you can kind of catch up with here, as I just managed to catch myself having that overlay on for a little bit too long there. Okay, so Stun with his Nexus on the way. He did actually decide to start a second gas here, but hasn't actually used it yet. So he got his second gas before the Nexus, which I find interesting. Mothership Core on the way. We're probably going to see at least one probe kill here from Clyde. Depends how well he controls. He should get this one from the gas, and he will. And we'll try and get back in here for a second, but it's very close. I mean, the Mothership Core's on the way out. He doesn't really want to lose the Reaper, because now isn't really the information he needs. I mean, it's nice to maybe see if there was an expansion up, but he didn't quite see that. He did see that this gas hadn't been mined from those, so he can make a pretty good assumption that there's no kind of very fast tech on the way. This Reaper is really for scouting around the 6 to 8 minute mark. See really what the tech path is, what kind of stuff he has to prepare for in this game. Coming back in here now, won't be able to get too much done because of that Mothership Core. And back at home, he is just having on 2 more barracks. He's pulled out of gas for a while, or just left one worker in that gas, and only just really going back into it now. So he's got his reactor up, and now with these couple of extra barracks, he'll be able to go into stim pack and some Marauder production as well, if you would like. Right. What is the point of StarCraft? Asks Core/ in the chat. I don't know. To have fun, to love, to entertain ourselves with. Reaper on the way in here will be looking to spot the Twilight Council, and he will spot the Twilight Council to the right and side of this base. So stun is revealed here. His initial plan revealed, and Twilight Council spotted. What is it going to be for? DTs? Yes, it is. Dark Shrine on the way, right in the bottom left-hand corner. So, I mean, Clyde shouldn't really be caught too off guard by this, because when there's a Twilight Council, there's 2 things you have to prepare for, either DTs or Blink. And I mean, you may assume it's always going to be Blink. It's actually fairly rare, imagined, for DTs. I mean, we definitely see Blink more than DTs. DTs is definitely the kind of less common decision. But I mean, it's still something he's got to have in the back of his mind as a possibility here. He's going to start moving out, and what will really be the telltale sign, I feel, is when he sees there's only 2 Stalkers on his opponent's side of the map. Robo Facility on the way now as well. Could possibly get a Warp Prism out of that to help them DTs access the main base if there is a turret at the front and the supply depot raised, etc. Engineering Bay on the way down, so he's going to have, again, plenty of time to make a turret if he feels the need for one, as Stun has been slowly progressing forward with his pylons, slowly taking these forward and getting ready. So there is a concussive shells on this Marauder, and that is absolutely huge here. As he comes up this ramp, he's going to be able to stop one of these Stalkers from retreating, and the other one. Phone Overcharge has to be popped here. He will commit forward. He wants this kill on this Stalker, and he will get it. And he will actually just head up towards the natural now. How much more damage can he do with this? I mean, DT will actually have to just be warped in defensively here, but he's actually going to get a fair few worker kills already. And I mean, he's committed with this army, so he may as well just go forward and kill this off. As he's now going to sit on the top. Dark Templar warped in, coming the wrong way. That's not the way the Dark Templar wants to go. I mean, if you wanted the Dark Templar for defense, he should have warped in over here. But this Dark Templar is not doing a good job right now, as Pylon's going to go down, and Clyde is in a fantastic position at the moment. There isn't a turret, so there's no detection here, and there's no scans saved either. So Clyde will be in a slight bit of trouble. He's about 15 seconds from a scan, so it's not the longest amount of time to hold on for. He's now been revealed. The Dark Templars have been spotted here, so turrets need to come down here as fast as possible, as we're going to see this depot probably be repaired. Actually, I don't think it's going to fall, and that's going to mean that Stun cannot access the main base until this Warp Prism gets across here. So Warp Prism will come into the natural. Clyde should just be saving scans anyway, though, just in case. I mean, mostly because when he wants to go for a counterattack, he's going to need scans to move across the map anyway, so he should be saving these scans, which he is right now. He's going to move across the map with quite a lot of units, so there might not be anything here to defend with. He has got a few units popping out with a rally, and Stimpak's going to finish up fairly soon. So 2 DTs though. We'll see how this does work out, as this big army is coming across the middle of the map, and again, saving scans, so DTs warped in for defense are not going to cut it. And honestly, this could very well just be actually a dead main base. And Warp Prism coming in here, dropping these DTs. There's no turret in this natural expansion, so Clyde will take a little bit of damage here. Spotted now, but he's moving across the map again with a very large army, and that army can make the difference as his first few units come forward. And scan. He's stimming into the main base at the same time. He needs a scan in this main base to click off this DT. He's going to go up to this natural expansion instead, as he will be able to just not kill off this DT. Oh, he's going to need another scan in here. So this is kind of falling apart quite quickly for Clyde. This isn't going the way it should have gone, as he doesn't even kill. Okay, just kills this DT in the natural. How much damage done? 13 workers to 10 in the workers kill count. And now there's actually still no detection here in the main base mineral line. That one DT was kind of one hit away. There was a Marine which was just stood AFK. Scan comes down. This DT falls. But damage done here. Damage I wasn't really expecting Stun to be able to get done. But he got it done, and now more DTs will continue to warp in. The real problem now for Clyde is actually that he lost so much of his army on the other side of the map that he will struggle to get the DPS he needs against these DTs. DT's going to go in either direction now. There's a turret in place in the natural. As more workers are going to get killed off, that DT dies very quick, but the DT in the main mineral line is doing a fair amount of damage here, and Scan should come down right about now to clean this up, and there it is. DT falls, and well, I mean, you know, even a Viking, just to shut down the Warp Prism, could be great right now. Stun holding a pretty decent supply lead. Even in army supply, there's a +1 upgrade lead for our Terran player. He's going into his first Colossus at the moment. Only on 3 gateways, again, not used this Twilight Council for anything else just yet in the game. Overall here, what's the final damage? 13 workers to 17, another DT warped in, and well, it's in range of a turret, and there's a turret in the mineral line this time, so it's going to be okay. Sims 4 to try and get the Warp Prism, not quite fast enough, however. He had just loaded up, ready to move across the map with 2 dropships, but was not successful. I mean, he dropped them off to be able to kill off that DT as fast as possible. As now we're going to see Stun looking to establish his 3rd base. So 3rd base going to get established here by Stun, as we have this Warp Prism picking up just Zealots now. Literally just going to come in here with the Zealots and try and harass now. Drop looking to come across the map, but he think... Okay, he's just going to drop off. He looks as though he wants to just deny the 3rd, and he will just come forward here and get that probe kill. Zealots into the natural, but there's units here in plenty of time. The Zealots actually getting saved. 2 of them getting saved. 3 of them getting saved in the end. This army's still just positioning. He's waiting for that to come down so that he can just come in and snipe it off, so that hopefully he actually gets kind of the mineral loss. You know, he gets the kill, so his opponent loses 400 minerals instead of just being denied, and now he stims in. He's going to go for it, and Stun. Does he react in time? No, so he gets what he was looking for. And he even gets that pylon as well, so that was actually a very well timed, very well thought out plan there by Clyde, waiting until the correct moment to get the maximum amount of damage. And now he's going to drop off here to try and pick off the Warp Prism. It goes down, Zealots go down as well, so Clyde finally kills off what's been bothering him for a lot of this game. And will now fall back for a little while longer here. Some of these Marauders coming back as well. I mean, he's still in a decent position, I guess. +1 armor's on the way. 3rd Nexus being re-established here, but 3rd Command Center is an orbital and is floating out. Will need a, you know, he's going to need a turret in this mineral line to make sure no DT harassment, you know, sets him astray. So that should be his first real priority here. So he's going to add on a bunker, and if he adds on a bunker, surely he doesn't forget about a turret after the way this game has started. Clyde, just going to start unloading one of these medevacs, keeping the other one full of Marines though, maybe. Just swapping the composition of the medevacs. No, just going to unload both of them. Not happy or not willing to move across the map just yet. Blink on the way now for Stun, as well as that +1 armor for himself. So his first upgrade starting to come into this game as his 3rd base begins to get established. It's a pretty standard time for this guy in comparison, you know, if you neglect the clock, which you can see above the minimap, but think about it in terms of when did the Terran player get his 3rd base, it's a pretty standard time for the Protoss player to be getting his 3rd, as Clyde has gone into Viking production here. So Vikings on the way out, and I mean a fair amount of them will be on the way as the 2nd starport's going to complete here very soon. Probes continuing to come down to this 3rd base, and we'll begin mining the minerals down here. So Stun with this 3rd base now set up. Next Zealot being warped in by Stun as well right now, as Clyde still just thinking about where he wants to go. He scans the army here and gets a perfect, you know, read on the composition at least. And combat shields is just about to finish up for him as well. So that's actually fairly late combat shields. Feel as though he's forgotten about that for a little while. Loads up some drops. It's a really nice map for dropping, of course. The fact you can come in towards the natural, and the 3rd base is kind of all the way over here is really nice. This Mothership Corps patrolling between the bases, looking for an opportunity to just, you know, just waiting for an opportunity to pop for an overcharge against any drops. Dropship spotted immediately by a pylon here. Probe, which is making these pylons, and the initial Dark Shrine, which is down in the bottom left, is still around and about on the map here. A lot of Stalkers moving forward. Of course, they do have Blink, and these will be spotted. Clyde could maybe come in and surround these. You know, come in from a 2nd angle. It looks as though he's just going to come back with everything, just in case it was an overall fight. I mean, if he'd been able to cut these off, that would have been pretty sweet, because they wouldn't really have stood a chance. Vikings moving forward here, and Clyde thinking about maybe simming forward. He will. He loses. Doesn't just actually lose a medevac. Keeps it alive. Nice little bit of control out of him. Nice quick reaction to turn around with that. Colossi numbers continue to rise here as the 5th Colossus comes out of that robotics facility. He scans. He sees the army coming. He sees Colossi still being added on. There is only 6 Vikings. 1-1 here. And the boys are coming across the map. 3 DT's been warped in as well. So Archons are going to be here to help out also. I don't know if there's enough Vikings. That's my one issue right now. Is there enough Vikings in this composition? There's 6 in this army. And there's only 6 on the map. 7 and 8. Vikings 7 and 8 aren't quite here just yet. Now, all these, is this going to go down? These Stalkers are a little bit out of position to actually be able to deal with the Vikings. They now do blink over to this side. There's a lot of bio here. The SCVs are in the back, though. Time Warp coming down as well. Does Clyde have enough? These SCVs are very clumped up as there's still 4 Colossus hitting from the back and doing a lot of damage. GTs as well, adding a fair amount into this. Scans coming down now to try and help clean these up. All the Vikings are going to go down, though, and Clyde's SCV pull is unsuccessful. Too many Colossi. And with too many Colossi means a victory here for Stun. Surely Clyde going to fall back, but he's so far behind in terms of workers. DT's coming in as well. The DT's added a lot to that fight as well. They were getting a lot of hits off. And Stun will close this out for Startale with a 4-1 victory here. And Startale take their first victory in SC2 Improved Team League Season 3. Mistral pulling a bit of the tough straw there, in all honesty, to get started off. And, yeah, GG. So, Startale, victorious here 4-1. We are not done here yet tonight, though, guys. We're going to go straight into ESC versus Nuit Blanche. That channel is actually ready right now. The game is ready right now. I'm just going to make sure that we're going to be set to go. So we're going to take a quick commercial break because we're going to get set up into our next best of 7. If you're going to leave because you were just interested in Startale, then I once again thank you guys for coming and checking out the SC2 Improved Team League. Startale will be playing again next week, and I'll make sure to get them on stream because I know a lot of you guys will be interested in that. So yeah, Startale will be back next week. A nice solid victory for them here today to start things off, and I am just looking for a something. If you've enjoyed the stream, do make sure to hit the follow button so you can see when we go live again with more SC2ITL action. Again, if you're leaving us now, but we have got more action on the way. ESC Icy Box versus Nuit Blanche is on the way next, guys, and that is coming up after this quick commercial break. The players are ready to go. We're just getting set up so I can set up the scoreboard and stuff like that. So, guys, 3 minutes time, we'll be back with another best of 7 all kill in the SC2ITL ESC versus